I was born with a cleft lip and palate. Not sure if anyone knows what that means because a lot of people don't know, but at the same time, it's a very common birth defect. So, cleft lip and palate is when the lip and the soft palate, which is the roof of your mouth, I guess that's the hard palate, and the soft palate is the uvula. Those are split, and a lot of people are born with either one or the other, but not. I mean, a lot of people are born with both, and I had a unilateral, which is one side, right there. But a lot of people are born with a bilateral, so both sides. That would suck. Anyway, this is a picture of me when I was born. So you can see where my mouth was connected to my nose. So it's on my left side, right here. Does it look like me? Here, I'm going to try to redo it. I can't do it. Anyway, I've had 4 surgeries because of it. My first surgery was when I was 3 months old, and it was to sew up the lip. And my father took pictures of that. So this is a picture from my first surgery. Sew up the lip, and also because, as you can see from this first picture, the nose is flat, the nostril is flat, and it still is weird kind of looking, whatever, but what they did was, on this picture you can see that white thing. What they did is they popped up the nostril. So there's that picture, and then here's the full front view. And here's another picture when I was 3 months. This is June of 1988. Let's see, what else do I have that I can show you? And then when I was 13 months old, that's when they sewed up the palate, because I was actually born with two uvula. Well, it was one uvula, but it was split in half. And that kind of caused a weird issue with my pronunciation of words and how I would sound them out. So I had to go through speech therapy for a while. I don't actually remember that, but my parents do. So they tell me that I went to speech therapy. And then when I was 9 years old, for extra support in my mouth, right here, this area, because that's where the cleft was, right there, they took a piece of my bone out of my hip. They just cut it, so I have like a little scar on my hip, and they put it in, and I don't know what they did. They just put it in there for extra support. It's doing its job. And then when I was 17, I had a nose job. And my lip, because before, actually, when I would close my mouth, it wouldn't actually close all the way there. It would just stay up a little bit. Right here. I don't really know how to explain it. So what they did was, when they did the nose job, my hair is freaking out right now. Here. When they did the nose job, well, first of all, they broke it because it was slanted this way. It slanted this way, like a lot. And they broke it to make it more centered. And then they also did more tip defining. I know my nose still isn't perfect. It will never be perfect. So they defined the tip, and then they went inside and they took out some extra scar tissue. And this is a picture of 17. Can't really see over there. So Also, in this picture, like I have the cast. Actually, it was so scary because when I woke up from my nose job, I looked in the mirror and I thought the cast was my nose. Like I was so, I was devastated. I was because I didn't realize it was like it was a cast. I thought it was my nose because I was still drugged up. I was on morphine. It was bad. Anyway, but also I have plastic splints in my nose here. Like plastic splints. They're whatever. They were the size of like cigarette butts or something up there, and also cotton swabs to soak up the blood. And so a week after my surgery, I had to go back up to the other city because it was a whole other city. And they pulled out the cotton swab. Like I just like had to lean back, and there's my nostril, my nose. They're not the right sizes. Anyway, I had to lean back, and the nurse like stick this like thing like right into my nose, and she pulled it out, and I could feel it scraping on the inside of my nose and my head and my face, and I could smell like blood. It was weird. It was like rusty. It smelled like rust. It was weird. And then a week after that, I had to go back up and pull the plastic splints out, and they were connected by this stitch that they put through it like a bull's ring. They put it in right here, and that's how the stitch held in those plastic splints. And so they had to pull the stitch and then snip it, and then pull out the plastic splints. They felt like I felt like slugs or like eels or something were being pulled out of my nose. I started going through orthodontia I started when I was 4. And what they did, because I went through a lot of orthodontia, what they did was they put like an expander on the roof of my mouth to expand it. And then when I was, I don't remember how old I was. I think I was like 8 or 9. I got my first set of braces. And that's bring these 3 teeth together. Because this tooth was originally on the roof of my mouth. It's right on the top. Because it was effed up. So, when I was little, they pulled out the baby tooth from the roof of my mouth, and then I had the braces. Then I had an appliance that they put in the roof of my mouth, and then I felt another tooth coming in. So I had to have braces a second time because this tooth was at the roof of my mouth, and they had to pull it forward. You can see it's kind of it's a smaller tooth, but it's okay. It works all right. So they pulled that forward for my second round of braces, and the braces were off. Then the third round of braces because my bite was off. It was like a cross bite, just like this. My teeth were right on top of each other. And it wasn't comfortable. It was awful. So I had my third round of braces. And I got them off. Then, after I got them off, and I wore my retainer, I did everything right, I didn't do anything wrong, my bite relapsed, and so I was back to a crossbite. So when I smiled, I'd always go like this. I'd always hide it behind my lip because I never bite down. I'd never bite down. So I had to get braces the 4th time when I was a sophomore in college. So I had braces 4 times. When I was 8, when I was 12, when I was 16, and when I was 19. I had braces. And my word of advice for parents who have children with cleft lip and palates is make sure when your kids get braces, because it's going to be necessary, it really is, when they get braces, keep the braces on for a long time. They're going to hate it. They're going to hate life. They're going to hate themselves. But it's better to hate yourselves in high school when everyone has braces and not when you're in college, because that sucks. And also, it's been proven that the people who have braces are more likely to need root canals because of the severe stress that your teeth go through each time. And I've had 3 root canals in the past year. So you want to avoid that. Also, cleft teeth, like this tooth was a really loose tooth because it was in the cleft. And so what actually needed to be done was that, and it wasn't stable enough, is that this tooth is actually glued to this tooth. It's glued. They're together. It's one giant tooth that looks like 2 teeth right there. They're glued in. And then behind, for extra support, there's a bonded retainer, bonded appliance. It's just a wire, metal wire. And I also have that on the bottom. But since my teeth suck, this tooth keeps on popping out of it. I've kind of given up on it. So this is just a little information video. If you have any questions or whatever, I know it might be kind of weird because parents with newborns with cleft lips, they might have a lot of questions about growing up stuff. So you can send me a message on YouTube. And thank you. Good luck.